Thank you so much for that. Well, joining me now with the perspective from Congress is Democratic Congressman Matt Cartwright of Pennsylvania. Congressman Cartwright, thank you for being here.
How are you, Alex?
I'm well, thanks. I hope you are too, though. I got to imagine you're thinking twice when you see these horrifying pictures, the videos that have come out as of yesterday of the chemical weapon victims. What's your reaction to that? It's
terribly troubling, obviously. Alex, I am in the undecided column, and I am undecided on purpose. I have committed to making myself fully informed before making a decision. I don't know that my constituents in northeastern Pennsylvania are entitled to a popular decision, but by God, they are entitled to an informed decision, and I refuse to make an uninformed decision. Mechanically, what that means is I'll be attending the classified security briefing tomorrow night at 5 o'clock. I have also been on about 4 conference calls with senior administration officials and military top leaders. But what I've been hearing is persuasion. I have not been seeing proof.
Okay.
So that I have arranged on Monday night, from 9 till midnight, I'll be in House Intelligence Committee room reviewing evidence myself.
Okay. So you're clearly doing your homework, sir, which, you know, I'm sure is appreciated by everybody, your constituents and otherwise. That said, have you moved the barometer at all from being there with a healthy amount of skepticism, as you said earlier, to, as a result of these videos? Has that changed your perspective at all? Does that help move you?
Well, of course, it all goes into the hopper. Everything has to be considered. And you have to realize we've been in our districts the last 5 weeks. We've been talking to, since August 21st, we've been talking to our constituents. And I want to tell you that kind of lays the groundwork. You might say it sets out the burden of proof of the administration, because the level of skepticism in America is so high, and that is true in my district, that I need to be persuaded by the evidence, really beyond a reasonable doubt, before I would be a yes on this question.
But interestingly, you said it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to have a popular vote from your constituents backing you up. So you're willing to forge ahead with what you believe is the evidence, despite what your constituents would tell you?
I am forcing myself to keep an open mind. And remember, the popular decision is not always the correct one. Invading Iraq was popular. We were overreacting to September 11. Not overreacting, but inappropriately reacting, because Iraq had nothing to do with the September 11 attack. So you can't go on public opinion alone. You have to review the facts. You have to review the evidence. What I want to see before I'm a yes is that it makes America safer to strike than not to strike.
So that is something you expect or hope the president will say on Tuesday night when he addresses the American people?
Well, that's what I need the president to persuade me, and I need the evidence to persuade me as well. I also need to know that there's good international backing behind it. I need to be absolutely positive there will never be boots on the ground in Syria. There's no way I would agree to something like that.
May I ask you, what is your big fear, sir? How do you think a military strike could make America less safe?
Well, for example, we know that the Assad regime will stoop to anything. And when you're willing to gas children in the suburbs of Damascus, you're willing to do anything. And that includes a nasty, nasty propaganda war. For example, if we do an airstrike, there's nothing that indicates to me that the Syrians aren't capable of actually blowing up one of their own mosques and blaming the United States for that. And then so they'd be in a position to say to the whole Muslim world that the U.S. destroyed a Muslim house of worship. I mean, they are capable of things like that. We have to think about those things.
Do you have an assessment of the vote count in the House? Where do you put that right now?
I think the great weight is undecided, as it should be. I think as a practical matter, we probably won't reach a vote on this until about a week from now. So I intend to use that week productively. If you interview me this time next week, I'm going to have bags under my eyes because I'm going to be up late studying this evidence. My constituents are entitled to my hard work reviewing the evidence before making a decision on this.
I'm going to have the Bookers reach out to you now, sir. But meantime, before we let you go, I know your district is right next to Allentown, PA. That has one of the largest Syrian populations in the U.S. What are you hearing from within that specific community?
I've heard from one Syrian American in my hometown, actually, and he is actually in favor of limited airstrikes.
Okay. Democratic Congressman Matt Cartwright, thank you for your candor. I appreciate it. And we'll see you next weekend, it sounds like.
My pleasure.
Thanks.